What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the UTSA Dynasty, and this is the recruiting update I promised you guys a few weeks ago. And we're almost to the end of Season 2, as you can see. We're 2-8, only 2 games left on the schedule. We played Tulane and Texas State in the I-35 rivalry. And so what I wanted to do in this video was basically show you guys what I've been doing so far as recruiting and to show you the roster up until this point. And then that is just going to be pretty much the entire video. And so we're looking at the roster right here. I'm going to go through all the players. I'm going to scroll here slowly, try to anyways, because I'm looking at my notebook here because I wrote down actual stats. And obviously we have a lot of low-rated players. I mean, we don't have any players in the 90s. We have 2 players in the 80s. We have 14 in the 70s, 33 in the 60s, 2 in the 50s, and 1 in the 40s. So that means that 77% of our team is less than 70 overall, and clearly we're in rebuilding mode, and that is why I've been okay with some of the losses on Heisman difficulty, because I know that it's not really realistic for this team to be playing in the Conference USA with this low-rated talent and be getting a lot of wins. And so I'm not playing in the FCS schools. I want the challenge. I love the challenge. You guys know I enjoy that. And so going into this year, there still wasn't very many seniors on our roster. There's not a lot of holes to replace, but the ones that we do have to replace are pretty key. And the main guys we have to worry about leaving this offseason are going to be quarterback Eric Souza, our highest rated player overall, Stephen Kerfis, our second rated player overall, meaning we'll have no more 80 overall players as they all graduate, and it will all depend then on how our players progress after this season 2 and where we are with guys who are redshirted and stuff like that and just didn't get to play much this year. So going into this year, I was focusing on defensive tackle, defensive end, fullback, guard, cornerback, and safety. I recruited the quarterback last year, and he's a redshirt right now, and he's a 65 overall. He may get the start next year. We're going to find out later, but I needed a defensive end, or more defensive ends and defensive tackles and higher rated players overall, just so I could have some more impact players, because if you've noticed, we've had guys like Jerron Harris and Stephen Kerfis play excellent even though they're a low 80 overall. So I know that when we get more guys in that range, we're probably going to have a lot better team, more impactful players. And that's why I'm okay with taking it slow. And so this is what I've recruited so far. You can't see the overalls here. We'll see them in a little bit. But a defensive tackle, a 4-star caliber. I went for a lot more higher rated prospects this year because there's not many seniors on this team. We have a ton of juniors. So I was going for some better players that can hopefully be like freshman starters or sophomore starters. And this defensive tackle here should be a starter next year. We also have a tight end, a cornerback, actually 2 cornerbacks, a guard, defensive end, and fullback. So I have targeted almost every position I wanted. I would like to get a safety if I still can get a good one, or I might end up moving somebody to a new position because I have a ton of receivers, a ton of cornerbacks, and I may have to move somebody to safety to fill in that spot on the depth chart, although we have no seniors at safety. Just need some better players there. Although Tristan Wade and Mike Butler are pretty good, just more for depth and for down the road really is what safety is concerned about, so it's not really that important. So we'll go to the recruiting board right here, and there's still a lot of good players I'm going for, and actually we have a ton of wide receivers on the roster. I believe we have 8 receivers, and I'm going for 2 right here, and one's already a soft commit, Randy Jones. Look at his ratings here. We're going to look at some ratings in this video as well. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. I have no target range for that, but he's an 89 speed, and really what I'm looking forward for is like guys who can play on the outside, guys who can take over for Cam Jones and Brandon Freeman when they're gone. They're both juniors right now. They're going to be seniors next year. So these are going to be guys who may be redshirted next year or maybe playing like 4th or 5th receiver. So 71 catching, 89 speed is pretty good at 69 overall as well. So look at these overalls and look at kind of where we were on our team currently. And you'll see we're going to have hopefully a lot of impactful freshmen next year. There's a chance for it. Here's Tim Whittaker, an 84 speed, 73 catch receiver. His attributes aren't great, but neither are like Brandon Freeman's. I mean, it's just whether or not they're making plays really is all I care about. I could care less about ratings if guys are making plays, and overall isn't all that's important. And then this is a defensive tackle we're also going for. We could potentially start like one freshman defensive tackle and have another one be the 3rd defensive tackle rotating in. So I think if I scroll down all the way here, I can see everybody I've already recruited. I can show you guys some attributes. Hopefully it works that way. Yes, here is all of my commits. We're going to look from top to bottom here. Here is Kellan Thomas from Bel Air, Texas. He has 79 block shedding, 79 tackling, 84 pursuit. He is a guy who I think can be like a #1 defensive tackle for us. And we need so much help with getting more pressure on the quarterbacks and not getting busted up the middle. That's been our major weakness on defense, and we have to continually blitz players, and we're not able to get pressure any other way, really. So that's one of the things we're looking at definitely. And this is Andre Ross. We need some pass rushers. The defensive ends we have right now are pretty slow. This guy's a 73 speed, though. He's not like the most agile guy, and he's 74 agility, but he's got good block shedding. He can be a good he's a good fit for us, I think. He's got good abilities, and hopefully he can be a freshman starter next year, because our defensive ends currently are 62 and 69. That's starters, and one's a senior and one's a junior. Next, though, this is the guy I'm really excited for, because we have Jeremiah Moeller graduating after this year. And I think David Morgan's proven himself capable in most situations in our dynasty. But this guy here, 80 speed, he's a clear pass catcher. 80 speed, 70 route running, good catch in traffic, 80 spectacular catch. A little bit of work to do as far as blocking goes, but this is a guy I'm really excited for, and he's already committed, so we're going to get him. We beat out Notre Dame and NC State for this guy, so you know that he was a decent prospect. He's a great prospect for a school like UTSA. Here's the corner we got, Trent Magee. I go for tall corners. I want to play a press man system. It's going to take a lot of work to get to be a press man defense, but 83 speed, not really optimal, but he is pretty tall and lanky. 73 man, 65 zone, so he might be a number 2 guy, or even, it depends how good he is. I mean, he could be a number 4 guy too in a dime spot. Probably too big to play in the nickel against some of those shiftier receivers and that low speed. But here's the other one we got in Jason Holmes. He is 6'3". I love the tall, fast corners. 87 speed is a lot more doable, and he has 74 man and 71 zone, so he could be a very high-rated cornerback on our roster. We have Eric Brown graduating after this year, and then Darian Starling will probably be the number 1 cornerback next year. Next up, who haven't I looked at so far? I have to look at this fullback we got here, Richie Battle, just because we don't have any true fullbacks on our team. I have Brandon Armstrong, and I guess Nate Shaw is a true fullback, but his ratings are so low on here. And Richie Battle could be our starting fullback next year. 79 speed. I wanted someone who could be like a Marcel Reese in my Raiders franchise, kind of guy who can block and can pass catch a little bit. His blocking isn't great, but I think that if we can get by with Brandon Armstrong, a 165-pound running back playing in there, we can get by with a 251-pounder with a little bit more speed and power. So that's who we've got so far. Only a handful of recruits and plenty more to hopefully come. And this is the bye week too, so I'm going to be doing some recruiting in this episode. I'll show you guys some clips every now and then. 2 soft commits so far on Randy Jones, and also this tackle right here, Jimmy Jones. And currently our tackles starting are an overall of 76 and 71. And I recruited 3 freshmen from last year to get some more bodies in there to hopefully protect Eric Souza and future quarterbacks. And this guy's got 72 pass block, 73 run block. I'm not sure if he's a left tackle or a right tackle. I can always switch positions. The good ones we drafted last year, though, it turned out to be mostly right tackles. So I want to get a left tackle, even though our guy over there is a 76 overall junior. And then let's look at Anthony Allen right here. We're going against Texas A&M and Washington. It's another good player in the middle there to clog up some running holes. He's got good block, not great block shedding, but he's a lot more doable than what we currently have there. I believe we have Justin Yancey, he's our 3rd. We have Richard Burge, and I forget, actually, I don't know all the players yet. I got to kind of get better at that. But just looking at some of the other players here, this is a guy who's kind of like a last resort. Nobody else is going for him. I have him on the list still, nothing special. And then the rest of these guys are pretty low rated, and I'm kind of just doing a lot of scouting to see how good they are. But here's a quarterback. We're pretty close to getting him, I think. Let's see here. How close are we to Georgia Tech? We are plus 200, and we're the only team to offer him a scholarship. He is a guy who could be a very special quarterback. 83 speed, 77 throw power, and 71 throw accuracy. I would love to keep our style of offense and keep a mobile quarterback in there, and he is more than mobile. He is about as good as Eric Souza out of the pocket, probably maybe a little bit faster. But the guys who we have currently, John Simmons, our junior, is not that fast. He's like in the 70s, so he's kind of like a Christian Ponder. And then we have a guy who's more of a standstill statue at 55 speed. So if we can get Evan Newton in there, we could have a major quarterback controversy next year for possibly Evan Newton being the starter in UTSA Season 3. Alright, so I think I realized how valuable Evan Newton is. He's a gem prospect, of course, a +7 overall in the recruiting. I just got 264 more points, and I promised him that we would not recruit another player at quarterback on his first year at campus. There really wouldn't be a need to. We would have enough quarterbacks on the roster probably. And so I think that Evan Newton could be a guy who's our starting quarterback in next season. What do you guys think? Should Evan Newton be the starter in Season 3? Look at all these points I just got for Tim Whittaker, a 4-star receiver. That's what happens when you have the recruiting advisor bonus, plus 758. Take a look at him. How close are we to probably having him commit? And let me go to the top schools. I must be going the wrong way. And yeah, we have a commanding lead right now over Texas A&M. I think we're going to end up getting Tim Whittaker. Alright, another receiver here with a recruiting advisor bonus on. Got plus 628. He's already a soft commit. Probably going to get him to be a full commit here very soon. Alright, this time around we have Jimmy Jones, and not very many points this time. We're only battling against Ole Miss for his services. He's a 63 overall, a 3-star prospect. We have a good lead though over Ole Miss. Just did some more recruiting on this guard, and he's a 3-star prospect, but that run blocking is very intriguing to me, so I think I'm going to try to go get him. Just did some recruiting on this defensive end here, Mike Lane from Louisiana. Trying to make Louisiana also a pipeline state. I think we're doing a pretty good job so far. Up almost 400 on Iowa. It's got about 150 points on the recruiting. And he's got some good ratings, and we need some more pass rushes, obviously, so it's a guy I want to get. And here is the other defensive tackle I want to get, plus 572. Very good recruiting session here. And we'll take a look at the more info to see how close we are to other teams, and plus about 600 on Texas A&M, so I think we're going to end up getting this guy to be a soft commit pretty soon, and hopefully he fully commits very soon too. And I haven't showed much for safety so far, if anything, and this is one of the ones I was looking at. I was scouting him, a low-rated prospect who was interested in us, but his speed is too low, his coverage ratings are way too low to deal with, so I'm probably going to wait off another year and just hold out for another safety. Hopefully a better group of safeties comes out next year. I was just about to end the video, guys, and when I simulated to the next week, because I'd finished that bye week, I had 2 more guys commit, so see who we got here. 4-star wide receivers, Randy Jones and Tim Whittaker, both committed to UTSA. I'm getting very excited for next year. Hopefully you guys are too, and hopefully this video achieves its goal of giving you guys a good idea of what's to come in Season 3 and beyond for the UTSA Dynasty. A lot of good players hopefully coming in next year, and should Evan Newton, should he commit to UTSA, should I make him the starting quarterback next year in Season 3? Talk about that in the comment section, guys. Let me know what you think about my recruiting class overall, and thank you for watching. See you guys next episode against Tulane.